Let's crochet with some strings and some twines that I found at Lowe's. So I just happened to be going by Lowe's to get some carabiners. I like carrying my keys on those when I carry other totes. And of course, we have so many totes on sale in the store. So, it's easy for me to just pick up things. But then I realized, well, these things would be great to make the totes out of. So what we're going to do on this video today is I'm going to walk through each of these three options I picked out today. And I'm going to swatch these options up and I'm going to talk about how I'm going to swatch them up. I have brought my number 6 crochet hook that I custom made the handle on. Look out for that video soon, or if you're way in the future, the card is up here. And then for those of you who were worried when I said I was going to crochet with twine and string and jute, I got these little vinyl gloves, but honestly, this is a test drive, and I may find that I may want to use a different glove in the future. But I'm going to go ahead and put these on just so that I have some friction. Also, I had my nails done recently to match my lovely little hair here. So I want to protect that as well as um, also, you may find these are the kinds of materials that can get dusty and really fibery. So you may also want to wear like some sort of mask, dust mask or anything, if you still have your masks from the heavier heights of COVID, like I do, because I still wear them out in public, as you know, on this channel. You might want to use those as well. But I'm mainly more concerned. I'm at home. My air conditioning is like the air comes in from the outdoors, so I'm not as concerned about like the crumblies, but down the line I may be. So before I get started stitching, I also put on these gloves because now that I have them on, as I'm touching these objects, that plastic is giving me a good barrier from the kind of itchier portions of these particular types. Now, of course, the cotton twine is not as scary. There's so much cotton already in my yarn stash, probably yours as well. If you work with Lily Sugar and Cream or it's store brand counterparts, you're getting closer to this particular cotton twine. Now at Lowe's, it's sold by brand L'Oreal. By the way, this is not a sponsored video. This is just an accidental trip. You may find this at any of your favorite like home deep Depot, Ace Hardware. Usually I love rolling up on Ace Hardware. And honestly, if this experiment works, I will probably be going back to Ace Hardware to look for some cotton twine, jute twine, sisal twine, I believe, and jute twine that's already dyed green. Now, I have a feeling this is already dyed green because somebody already has had this idea to start making things out of this. Um, Already, I was at Stitch Night last night, one night before I was recording this, and I'm recording this the weekend of solstice here in DC, and the Smithsonian have all these things. One of them is basket weaving, so I'm looking forward to seeing how people use these things. But just magically, this showed up for me today. And so that when you're watching this video, I might be heading to basket weaving, but today we're going to swatch out these particular things. And as once I swatch them out, I'll give you a sense of what I would think these would be good for. Now, I'm actually going to swatch these out both as a granny square and then also in double crochet. Those are the 2 stitches I'm going to do. Now, for tightness, you may want to do single crochet, but we're already dealing with something that has the characteristics of a bulky yarn. Now, these are not considered yarns. As far as I know, twine and jute and now cotton, of course, this looks like, as I'm looking at it, this looks like a number 4 weight cotton yarn, maybe even a number 3 weight. And looking at how these are applied, I would assume the same on these. And yes, there are some of our yarn warehouses that do sell these as well. And so they may too also have a weight. And I've talked about yarn weights in actually over here in this video. So if you if you want to use this, you should check out and want to learn more about how yarns are weighted and who decides what yarns are weighted. That's where. But generally, when twine and string and cotton, even cotton like this, is sold at Lowe's, it will not come with the yarn weight on it because the assumption is you're not going to crochet or knit or weave with it, but you can. So let's get started. It's the next day, and I'll have to admit, in the mess of my little studio, I was able to get the Jute to do this nice little granny square, which so far is winning the race for can I crochet with stuff out of Lowe's. But I want to give an honorable mention to this twine. If you actually want to try to do a basket, or actually, to me, this is giving rug. This is giving rug. And remember, I crocheted these yesterday with gloves on because I felt like it was going to be a rough ride. But as I'm feeling this today with no gloves on, now granted, I also wanted to protect my nice little manicure here, but feeling this with no gloves on today, I think I could get away with doing this without gloves. And I honestly, I'm going to finish this up. Actually, I'm going to do it, take this green jute and make a granny square tote out of this. Let me know in the comments if you want a pattern of that. You want to know how much I would need of this, and to go back to, and again, jute twine is sold all over. That's what it's called, jute twine. And I just love how this feels. And I think this is, if you want the effect of this without the trouble of like plying and like weird kind of plying, not the plying where it comes apart right here, which it's doing, and thankfully it's secured, but just flex. You think that you shed flex of yarn. This sheds flex. And then you're like, Kristen, well, what happened to your cotton? So cotton. Sweet, sweet, sweet cotton. This cotton feels just like Lily Sugar and Cream, but the even harder version. I tried to make a granny square out of this, and honestly, it's definitely not going to work with a number six millimeter hook. And I'm sitting here now as I'm talking to you, trying to do a little B-roll and trying to salvage what we have here. So overall, would I go back to Lowe's or my favorite home improvement store and get more of these materials? Absolutely, the jute. In a pinch, if I wanted to crochet and I needed something out of cotton, this is basically a Lily Sugar and Cream jute. If I wanted to test some natural dyeing, just go get the cotton, this cotton twine. Cotton twine is basically that with no color in it. And yeah, just it, depending on where you go, it may or may not be cheaper. So I can't even gauge that. I feel like I paid about the same amount as I would pay. Actually, I feel like Lily Sugar and Cream might be a little cheaper with more on the skein. And it already comes dyed. And in fact, this isn't exactly Lily Sugar and Cream, but this is its equivalent, the loops and threads equivalent. And I'm putting them side by side here on the camera, as I tend to do. And I promise when I make these yarn claims, I do put them up on the camera so you can see for yourself. Once again, not saying, not I'm making a value judgment, but if just somehow you no longer have a Joann, Michael's is too far away, but you have a Lowe's, Home Depot, or a hardware store, you can still crochet with this cotton, and then you can dye with it, because of course cotton does take all like types of dyes and such. So that might be a stopgap for you. So yeah, that's it. if you want more experiments like this, subscribe to this channel. If you want to see more of me reviewing things, I reviewed some stuff at the mall that pretends to be crochet down here for one of these videos. And then, of course, if you want to learn, if you want to get ready to crochet for the first time, check out my series on learning to crochet for the first time. And I'll see you in the next video.